Deadwax. What's up, all you Robin Daggers and Phoebe Bridgers, and welcome to the Halloween episode of the Deadwax Show. Get out of the pumpkins and get into the Deadwax. Now, we may not look like your normal host, but I can guarantee we certainly are. Waffles and the Stooge. I am Waffles, dressed as Phoebe Bridgers. What are you doing?
My hair's in my mouth.
Hot. You got this. You got it. You can do it. I'm Waffles, dressed as Phoebe Bridgers, and as always, I am joined by my older sister and best friend, Stooge. Stooge, tell the people what's going on and who you are.
Oh, what is going on is it is Halloween. That's
Halloween.
What's going on.
It's Halloween.
Hence, yeah, I mean, we like to dress up anyways and play pretend. But
like we're 6.
But we are wearing costumes today because it is Halloween. And we want to, first of all, wish all you creeps and freaks out there a happy Halloween.
Amen.
We don't slut shame here, so dress as hootie mama as you wanna and let your freak flag fly. Well, that's a risky one to say fast. You get like a homo, what do you call that?
We can just
slur almost gets in there, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Anyways. But I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I mean, my hair's all messed up.
Yeah, it's hot. I don't know if you guys can tell this. Oh, by the way, for those listening, we're wearing wigs this episode. If you can't see us, we both have wigs on.
And Waffles is dressed as Phoebe Bridgers.
Yep.
And I'm dressed as Robin Daggers from How I Met Your Mother.
See? So we've got dedication to this episode because it's going to be a mess, physically, visually. Oh, and he's popping cans, too. She's popping cans. And the thing
I go by they.
About...
Oh, shoot. We won't make fun of pronouns.
Okay, yeah, great. And the thing that's nuts about what's happening right now is that Norm Stooge. I had a stroke. What I was trying to say is that Stooge nor myself have long hair, so we're not used to having long hair. But it came out such a mess that nobody cares what I had to say anymore. Ugh.
Yeah, we don't.
Ugh.
We don't care.
Nobody cares.
By the way, we should take a picture of us in our wigs and have a vote who wore it better. I mean, I'm almost positive you'll win.
I think you're doing pretty freaking great yourself.
But I think I got a niche in the corner of what's that guy's name? Snape?
Yes.
I think I got the Snape.
You've got the Snape vote.
I got the Snape corner for sure. That's what I'm looking like. A bearded Snape who's wearing a flannel shirt.
Yeah, love it. Snape would wear flannel if he was in 2022.
When was he? What year did those take place?
I think the Harry Potter movies are still supposed to take place in the 70s and 80s.
Really? Are you sure?
Yes, because if you do the math from when Harry goes to visit his parents' grave, it says the death date when they died to when he is then a teenager.
Okay.
And then by the time he's gone through school and he has kids, it's supposed to be closer to the modern day. Anyway,
man, we just got nerdy with this show.
I know, seriously.
If you do the timelines.
Do you know what's funny? I just realized you look like Snape. I look like Lucius Malfoy with my long blonde hair.
Yeah,
I look like Malfoy's dad. Yikes.
We're like Death Eaters.
We're like fabulous Death Eaters.
I can't even bend my arm.
People want to talk about records. Right? This is so stupid already. We're only a few minutes in. Let's talk about what records we have picked up this week, Stoogebert. Why don't you start us off?
Let's do it. I have a plethora. Yeah, of new pickups.
Okay.
So I'll go ahead and start showing them off here. First one, Queens of the Stone Age. Their very first record ever released. I've got the boobies strategically covered up there.
Nice. Good thinking.
So I got this bad boy in the mail today. They repressed a lot of their albums. This one is on orange. So yeah, if you're looking for some OG Queens of the Stone Age, lots of record stores have these in right now still as well. I just pre-ordered mine from Queens of the Stone Age.
Okay.
Then we got Arctic Monkeys, The Car. I had zero Arctic Monkey records until this one. Not that I dislike them, they just never been like a band that I've really listened to a lot or collected. But man, this album, it's such a departure from what I think their traditional sound is, and I just love it. It's like it's instead of rock and roll, it sounds more loungy, but also depressed. So if
Heck
you think
yeah.
of like a depressed lounge music,
Heck yeah.
that's the best way I can describe it with my limited knowledge of music classification.
Yeah.
But yeah, I love this album, and it comes on a cool custard
Ooh, love
vinyl.
that. Yeah.
Cool custard.
Viner.
And then here we go. Ugh, hair in my mouth again. Tragic Kingdom.
Heck yeah.
By No Doubt. One of the first, probably No Doubt, Spiderwebs is the song that made me convert
Rad.
or transition from country music as a kid into the alternative rock scene. So
Rad.
had to get this on vinyl, most specifically because I found one of the color variant copies on this translucent yellow.
Ooh, love it.
And you all know me, I'm a variant hoe, so
He is a variant hoe.
No Doubt right there.
Yep. Ah, that's funny.
Built to Spill.
Man.
There's nothing wrong with love. And my best buddy growing up, his favorite band is Built to Spill. I probably wouldn't know about them if it weren't for him. So I mean, this is a great album, and it's a blah, blah, blah. Record Store Day indie exclusive repress. I think it's its 30 or 35th year anniversary. I think it's 30. Pardon me. It's pressed on this really cool black and white marble. It's I guess it's kind of hard to see in the sleeve and stuff. It looks kind of silver,
yeah.
but it looks cool. I like it.
That's really cool.
Great album. Go check that. Go pick that up if you haven't. And then by far the best one. Vinyl Me Please's first ever pressing of A Lot About Living, A Little About Love by Alan Jackson on vinyl.
Yeah.
This hasn't been on vinyl before.
Really?
So this is the first time, yeah.
Wow.
And it's on this really pretty, matches the motorcycle cover, but this blue.
Oh, that's sick.
Blue vinyl. And dude, Chattahoochee, you've heard the song, right?
I do know.
Way down yonder on the Chattahoochee, it gets harder than hoochie coochie. It's such a great song.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite country song of all time.
Oh wow, of all time.
Yeah, maybe it because I feel like it lasts better, like it's lasted the test of time better than Achy Breaky Heart has.
Oh,
I feel like Achy Breaky Heart, while a great song, is kind of cheesy. Does that make sense?
I think it makes sense.
Whereas like Chattahoochee, I feels like hell yeah. And it's just it's a funny song. It's a great album.
I love the description of those two songs. That one's kind of cringy, or would you say was it cheesy?
Cheesy.
And the other one's hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Robin,
dude. You got a
bunch
bunch of pickups this week. Holy cow,
I know, right, dude. I'm financially destitute. I'm starting an OnlyFans. I'll be wearing my wig.
Wait,
and nothing else.
Okay. Deal.
So for all the bears out there,
yikes,
it's coming.
I'll go to mine so that we can avoid wherever that conversation was about to go. And here we go. So
why's my hairline receding? There we go.
Now it looks like you have serious problems because your hairline is diagonal. It is on a graph line. Hey, don't fix it. It looks great.
There we go.
Okay. So the first one I got to show everybody, that is the new album by the band Rollo Tomasi. This album is called Where Myth Becomes Memory. They're like a progressive metal band, super, super fun. And the variant, let me pull it out real quick, is the record. Let me pull out the record real quick. Is really, really cool. And it was just like, I went with Stooge to the record store to get this. I wasn't expecting anything wild. But it's on a black and yellow.
Smash
looking. And it is super sick. This is a great album. Very, very good mix of like really pretty melody and like all that stuff, and then wild, intense screaming and breakdowns and anger. So it is the bomb. Great band from the UK.
Is it like the cat kicking a cat sounds?
No,
or is it more of the puke sounds?
Is it more of a question? That's a great question. The singer is a woman who's about like 5'2", and so I guess it's closer to cat kicking.
Okay.
Right? Yeah. But yeah.
It's a good one. Gotcha. Sorry, my door is left open.
Hey, no worries. Second
progressive metal. Does that mean they sing about like equal rights and stuff like that?
Absolutely.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Get into it if you're into that kind of stuff. Anyway, the next one. I believe this is just the self-titled. This is the new Pool Kids album. Pool with a P, as in pool. This is new Pool Kids album. I went and saw Pool Kids this last week with our friends Ryan and Ben. They opened for Origami Angel. I also, quick little thing. If you get a record at a concert and the weather is not ideal when you're walking out from the venue to the car, cover the record with something because it was hailing.
Your body.
It was hailing really bad when I walked out, and it destroyed this Obi strip. You can't really tell. I've had to like flatten it and let it sit out, but it got very wet and it was very annoying. Anyway, on a little pink vinyl, and this is one of my favorite albums of the year. Pool Kids is like a emo indie pop punk band. Super fun. Last one. This is a record I did not know actually existed. I've been a fan of this band and of this album for a long time, but I never thought that this would be on vinyl. And then someone pointed out to me like, yeah, duh, it's on vinyl. So then I got it for cheap. For
Was
cheap, too.
Sounds like me.
It was very you. That tone of voice, right? Like the duh, you can get it.
Duh.
This is by the band Ed Gein, named after a famous serial killer. And this album on the spine of it, it's just called It's a Shame. But back in the day, this album was known as It's a Shame That a Family Can Be Torn Apart by Something as Simple as a Pack of Wild Dogs. So Ed Gein, just insane, chaotic, wild. There's a lot of movie samples. It's just ridiculous. I adore this band. Have since I was like 16. And the names of the songs are ridiculous. I can't pull it out. Anyway, highly recommend Ed Gein. The best song on this album is called "You Suck at Life," and I don't mean the board game. So seriously, Ed Gein, one of my favorites. I was very stoked to get this. My buddy Nick, if you are watching this, thank you for helping me get this because now I finally have it. Because I did this whole Instagram story about like, man, I wish this was pressed on vinyl. The things I would do, you know, that kind of thing. And then he was like, it literally exists. Like, it's not that hard to find. So there you go.
He's like, you're so stupid, Waffles.
He literally was like, get off the internet. Quit making your stupid jokes. We keep adjusting our wigs.
he's like, you suck at life, Waffles.
And I don't mean the board game. Yeah, exactly. So anyway, good week for us for pickups, man.
Yeah, bunch of pickups.
We kind of popped off, if you ask me.
We did pop off. We're always popping off.
Yeah, we are. Okay, Stooge. I think we've got a trick and a treat for our listeners.
Nice.
For today's topic. Thank you. In trying to think of what we could talk about for Halloween, Stooge and I, we did a lot of brainstorming because we couldn't feel just like the right thing. But we eventually came to something that we'll feel more like a little more confident on. Stooge, tell the people what we're talking about today.
Yeah, so we thought for Halloween, since it's all about ghouls and ghosts and witches and spooky and all things scary, that we would have ourselves a little seance here on the Deadwax Show. A little seance, and we're going to be talking about some of our favorite dearly departed musicians.
Yes, Seance Knowles. That is true. We're going to talk about our favorite artists who have passed on, who we still love and respect. But since we're talking about all about cemeteries and ghosts and stuff, why not? Why not cover the people that mean a lot to us who have gone on?
Yes.
We each have our top three. Is that correct?
Yep, I've got three.
I got three.
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 Before we jump into it, yo, I gotta get the hype phase into this, talking about dead people. So before we jump into our three, I thought it'd be nice to kind of maybe like mention some of the more popular ones. You know, like Elvis Presley. I think a lot of people would say Elvis Presley is probably one of their favorites, who is no longer with us.
John Lennon, Michael Jackson. I think people would say Prince indeed.
Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them. Johnny Cash.
Yes. When did Johnny Cash die? Not super long because he had a song with 9 Inch Nails. So
yeah, but that's still pretty old.
That's still old.
I want to say it's like 10 plus years ago. Still.
Yeah, like 2000s, but still, that's crazy.
Yeah. Anyway, So
I hurt myself today.
Those are just some. Yeah, such a great song.
Amen.
So let's go ahead and jump into it, my friend. Did you want to go first?
Absolutely, I can. So I actually struggled with this, and I hope I don't sound like a dick, but like
you always sound like a dick.
Don't have that many records by artists who have passed on, so I had to sort of narrow it down.
We're doing records with this too?
No. I just was like looking through my collection to think of like people that because like there's a lot of famous people, but I would rather talk about people I'm more passionate about as opposed to just like, oh yeah, the guy from Blind Melon. So the first one I'm going to go over is Ian Curtis from Joy Division. Joy Division. This is really pretty pressing, by the way. I'm a big fan.
Ooh, that is cool.
Yeah.
It's a
Joy
black and purple
Division.
splatter on clear
Oh
vinyl.
yeah,
Everybody.
sorry. I'm so bad at not at for those that just listen. Sorry, everybody.
That's probably why I don't listen anymore. They're like,
I know,
F this.
people literally give up because we don't describe anything. Anyway, Joy Division is a favorite. They are a post-punk goth rock band from the 80s. One of the first to do it, arguably the first post-punk band. There's a lot of debate on that. But Joy Division, Ian Curtis is a very, very tormented soul. He has a very haunting like voice, which is why it was so fun. They were really, really interesting, artistic. Sadly, Ian Curtis committed suicide right before their second album came out. And so the people in Joy Division became the band New Order, and then they still to this day are making music. So they made a lot of lemonade out of some lemons. But I'm a much bigger fan of Joy Division than I am of New Order. So Ian Curtis, his lyrics are very artistic and deep for a time when that kind of stuff wasn't really the norm. Like a lot of stuff coming out in that era was more about relatable lyrics as opposed to artistic and creative. So Ian Curtis was a visionary in a lot of ways, sadly a very tormented soul. But here we are 40 plus years later still talking about it. So Joy Division, I'm a humongous fan.
Yeah, and I would say like Joy Division, even though I don't really listen to them and I can't really name you any Joy Division songs, definitely have heard about them outside of you. Yep. So I think the fact that they kind of stick around, there's got to be something relatable about them in there somewhere.
Absolutely.
For them to kind of stand the test of time like that and still be talked about or remembered. So
for sure. And they only had 2 official albums, but like a ton of demos and stuff that they have been able to release into multiple albums. And I've also heard the quote. You ever heard the quote that anyway, I heard a quote one time, the Joy Division is often your favorite band's favorite band. Because like they were wildly influential to so much music from the 90s forward, because so many bands were so inspired by them. And the Joy Division, because they only had a couple albums, they were never really like big. They were like underground basically the entire time until Ian committed suicide. So
they're like the Limp Bizkit of bands. It's like
they're like the Limp Bizkit of bands. Do you know what I mean? Yeah,
they're your
artistic,
favorite band. Relatable.
Oh goodness! All right, what's your first one?
So I think my first one's gonna be a lot of mine say in mainstream, but I think the first one I'll talk about is Freddie Mercury. So like Queen put out a whole huge body of work. Freddie even had a solo album. But still, it's Freddie was taken too early, contracted HIV or AIDS. He wasn't that old. He was probably like 50. And just to imagine how much more. Like I remember as a kid, when I was younger, thinking about bands like the Rolling Stones and Queen. I'm like, oh, those guys are so old. They're still making music, And now that I'm in my 40s, or not my 40s, well, now that I'm in my late 30s, I'm like thinking of my bands who are my favorite. It's like I get psyched when they're still putting out new music, like the Black Keys and who else, and anyways, like Red Hot Chili Peppers and stuff like that. I'm like, yeah, keep going, man. You're still doing it. And just to think now how much more great music we could have had from Queen and Freddie had he been able to stick around longer. But grateful for what we do have. And what's really cool about Queen too is like I kind of feel like like most bands who have longevity, they kind of morph a little bit over time. Queen started out as very much your traditional UK rock band, but I feel like towards the latter end of their stuff, they were I don't know how to describe it, but something was different. You're doing your Radio Gaga hits and stuff like that, as opposed to your I'm blanking on Queen song. What's a big
like Bohemian Rhapsody?
I guess, but Bohemian Rhapsody is even more of a like an opera song that it
like
is
We Will Rock You or Killer Queen or
something like that.
Something early.
Yeah. So, anyways, it's too bad. The great stuff. Do you ever sit and think how much cool stuff we maybe have missed out on because someone just didn't try?
Yeah.
Like a different branch of reality where we would have this really great band, called Dinosaur Vomit or whatever. And they just make
great name,
great music, but it's just never going to happen because I don't know.
Because someone didn't try.
Yeah. They just someone crushed their soul, crushed their dreams and I'm not going to do this anymore.
Nope. I think about myself all the time.
Yeah. So I've got too much time in my hands.
Man, we get existentialists when we got wigs on. Holy cow.
Or
Dang.
Existential Wigs.
Existential Act's a great band name too. Existential Wigs. Are you kidding me? Um,
What? No, existential ghosts, because you're dead.
ooh,
What is there to be existential about?
there you go. You already know the existential at that point. Yeah.
Anyways.
Okay,
So
I'll
yeah,
go my second one. My second one is Little Peep. So Little Peep, this is his album Come Over When You're Sober, parts 1 and 2. Little Peep, it was the first emo rapper in the 2010s. I couldn't tell you what year Little Peep came to prominence. But Little Peep, whoa! For those just listening, Stooge's camera just came crashing down. Crashing down.
Sorry to interrupt your Little Peep speech.
Oh my gosh. Well,
There we go.
I wasn't like getting emotional or anything. Here I'm crying about Little Peep and you just knock your phone off.
I'm like, I'm out of here.
I'm done with this. Anyway, Little Peep, rapper in the 2010s who decided to take two different styles that don't ever mix and mix them together. He was very, very passionate and dedicated to the art of what he did. I was not super into Little Peep when he was alive. It was after he passed away that I got really into him. But what was really cool about Little Peep is that he was sort of this like first wave of SoundCloud rappers that we now know them as. So literal just like kids. He was like 16 when he started, who just used the internet to get SoundCloud music out there. And he was so freakishly talented. So much of rap music since it existed has a very upbeat and standard like tempo to it. And Little Peep was like, I'm gonna make it sound sad. And he did a great job. Little Peep also is one of the very first rappers to start covering his face in face tattoos, and like for modern day kind of stuff, because he was so dedicated to what he did that he said he didn't want another job, and was like, I'm going to do it so I can't get another job.
Oh, he did like the Travis Barker?
Exactly. So he started getting just huge tattoos on his face as a young man, because he was like, I don't want to be able to have any other option besides music.
I'm dedicated to this.
Exactly.
This or nothing.
Exactly. Little Peep was very talented. Sadly, he died of fentanyl poisoning. Yes. So technically, Little Peep was murdered because somebody gave him
drugs laced with
OxyContin laced with fentanyl, and he died. It was very horrible how he died. He was only 21. Can you imagine being that young?
Super young.
That young. He was already doing world tours. He was very huge. And taken so young. Sadly, substance abuse takes over much of the artist we're talking about. And, it's a horrible, horrible thing. But Little Peep, I absolutely love his music. I love him as a person. There's a wonderful documentary on him on Netflix I highly recommend called Everybody's Everything. So there you go.
Little Peep, R.I.P.
R.I.P. And lots of people since have copied him. he was like trying to something brand new, and my gosh, how many rappers since then have tried to be him? So,
all right,
there you go.
Speaking of people who are super young, Tupac and Biggie. Biggie was like 25 when he got shot and killed.
Isn't that horrible?
That's so young, dude.
Yep.
It's like it's crazy. It's crazy.
Which is like but like growing up, I didn't feel like Biggie was that young.
I know exactly.
I thought Biggie would have been older.
Yeah. So would I. I thought he'd be like in his 30s or something. But
no, easy. Yeah.
25. Same with like people like Jimmy and all those people in the 27
club. 27. Yep.
Janice and Kurt and
Amy Winehouse.
Yeah. All 27. What's like, dude, that's
nothing.
It's like a third of your life, maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe even less. So it's just crazy. Anyways, you did Little Peep. I think my second one, I didn't really have these organized before I started the show, but I think I got my second one's gonna be John Bonham, the drummer from Led Zeppelin. Once he passed, unfortunately of a drug overdose.
Yeah.
By then, Led Zeppelin already put out, I want to say 7 or 8 albums.
Wow.
So they'd done a lot already, and they're crushing it, but I felt like they still had momentum and still had a lot in them. Unfortunately, when John died, the band decided it wouldn't be the same without him, so they stopped. They disbanded and started doing their own solo stuff or retirement, whatever. But John Bonham, man, on the drums, he was insane. Like, I don't know much about music. Like, I'll admit that. I don't know how to read music.
Yeah,
I don't know much about musical styles.
Same.
I just love to listen to it.
Yeah.
And I've watched stuff about some of my favorite musicians, and Led Zeppelin being one of them. And just to hear people who do know music and talk about the different, like just how complementary and different each of them were to just come together and make such a unique and awesome style. And you think of someone like John Bonham, who looks like he should have been, it looks like they picked him up like out of a truck stop. It's like he was driving cross country in his truck, driving a semi, like, hey, you want to be in a band? He's like, sure, why the not? But he was one of the best drummers. Like, he had such a unique style and ability that, man, if they could have just stuck around, it would have been great to see what more Zeppelin could have done. Of course, you do always have the double-edged sword. I'll throw a quote out here. Harvey Dent. Either you die the hero, live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
There you go.
Some musicians do kind of like fizzle out, but anyways, with Led Zeppelin, it would have been nice to have even more. So that's the second one I would say is my favorite. That's passed.
Yeah.
So.
And John Bonham, my gosh, what a talented drummer too. Like the talent from that man was crazy.
Yep.
All right, I'll go for my third and final one. This one's pretty recent, so if you follow me on social media, I have not stopped talking about this, but that is Trevor Sternad of the Black Dahlia Murder. So Trevor was my hero, legitimately. When I got into Black Dahlia Murder, I was at a very unfortunate time in my life where I did not feel fantastic about myself or about life, and I struggled really bad with comparing myself to how other people looked and acted, and I was this glasses wearing heavy dude that liked heavy metal and wanted to be ridiculous, and I didn't feel like anybody accepted that.
Comparison is the thief of joy. I'll let you know. Waffles.
Amen to that. So I got into the Black Dahlia Murder, and here was a singer who looked and acted just like me, and it made me feel like it was okay to act like myself. So I very much look up to him, and then he is also one of the best people in death metal. Trevor had this very unique vocal style that people couldn't ever copy. And because in death metal, almost all the screams are done right? It's all very guttural and low, but his are all high. So he can do lows really fine, but almost all of his vocals are which doesn't happen in death metal a whole lot. So it was always wild to listen to them. And they've been around since the late 90s. In fact, death metal in the 90s was huge in America, standard death metal. It originated here in Florida with bands like Death, Cannibal Corpse, that kind of stuff. In Sweden, you had melodic death metal, which was huge there. You had bands like At the Gates, In Flames, Dark Tranquility, and that's really cool. But once that style was new for a while, it already got pretty stale, and it was just in Europe that it was huge. The Black Dahlia Murder was the first American band to really adopt that style and make it big here, all over the world, because it was just a European thing for a long time. So then the Black Dahlia Murder they were same thing like kids when they put out their first album. They were in high school together. They put out their first album that was better than what most bands could do their entire career. And since then, the Black Dahlia Murder only put out great albums. I don't think there's a bad one in a bunch, and I think they have 8 now. So when Trevor died, it was very sad. He sadly committed suicide, and it was one of those things where it was a horrible, sad tragedy, but a really good conversation for people to say, just because someone is silly and happy and makes a lot of jokes does not mean that they're perfect. So please make sure that we're all being respectful and kind of each other. The Black Dahlia Murder was very unsure of what they would do for their career, because it was sudden. They had no idea. It was all very sudden. They just barely played their very first tribute show to Trevor 3 days ago, and their guitarist took over for vocals. He's been doing backup vocals for 20 years. So he tried his hand at lead vocals, and it went great. Oh. So anyway, the Black Dahlia Murder, very important band to me, one of my favorites. And I do get emotional still thinking about Trevor, because it is sad that it was just so sudden. When he was gone, that day was really freaking rough, man. Because same thing. Yeah, when you have a hero, when you have someone you look up to so much and you realize that they're not perfect and that they're gone all of a sudden, it really rocks your world. So, but anyway, I still love Trevor. I have a picture of Trevor in my living room from a t-shirt, and I see it all the time. So I see Trevor every day, think about him every day.
Nice.
Yep.
We're getting really more sentimental than spooky on this episode.
Yeah,
right?
We really did. This got really serious for 2 dudes in wigs.
I know, right?
Yeah. We went way more serious than anticipated.
We're gonna have to put in some spooky effects or something.
Just us
maybe
dancing in wigs.
I'll play a background noise over this, just spooky sounds.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Metal clanking.
Metal clinking. There you go.
Anyways,
bro.
What? No, I
That's supposed to be a
guess
crow. Yeah.
a raven.
A raven. Ooh, quote the raven nevermore.
All right. My first, the one that's my number one.
Yeah.
Is gonna be Adam Yoke from the Beastie Boys. Uh, he was like not just a great musician, but an incredible human being,
Yeah.
which I think is what makes him number one on my list. Like he, unfortunately, we lost him due to cancer. Freaking cancer took him. He was only in his 40s, and it's been a little over 10 years now. But yeah, like he was a good dude, like the great musician, but like very much involved in like what's that called? Social work.
Yeah.
Like,
Activism.
Activism, yeah, doing all sorts of benefit concerts, trying to just, be the best person he could be. And that's what really sucks. And this is another instance where it's like, once Adam, he was kind of like the ringleader of the Beastie Boys. So once he was gone, Ad Rock and Mike D were like, yeah, we're not gonna be able to do this anymore.
Yeah.
And understandably too, it's, when you're someone's part of your life, because they were like real life friends and everything too.
Yeah.
They actually met at punk shows when they were in young kids in New York.
Heck yeah.
Anyways, they would go to punk shows, and that's how they all end up meeting each other. But yeah, just doing something with your best friend for, like 30-ish years of your life, and then that person's gone now, and it's like it's got to be like a weird missing element to that activity going forward, to where it just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? Or maybe it brings back sad emotions. I don't know.
Yeah.
Everyone handles grief and stuff differently. So, but yeah, just another group where it's like, man, like Rage Against the Machine. I feel like right now we need Rage Against the Machine. I feel like we need the Beastie Boys right now too when it comes to them as musicians and everything like that. And I just wish that we still had them around to be making really kick-ass music for three white guys out of New York.
Yeah.
So that's my number one. It would be Adam Yoke from the Beastie Boys.
Man, you're right. We got really like somber in this episode. Yeah.
I know. We should turn it up a notch real quick.
We should have. Yeah.
Before we go on to trivia.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Stranger Things.
Oh, freaking yeah, man. Okay, I'll start this off. So picture it, our friendship, Stooge and I. He asked me forever ago, Waffles, do you like Stranger Things? And I watched the first season when it came out, and I was like, I watched the first season. It was fine, then I trailed off, and he was like, you should really try it. And I was like, okay, Stooge, sounds good. And then we did our Vecna episode, and I was like, I mean, I probably should watch it. Like, we did the whole episode. He even sent me all the clips of what I was supposed to research for Vecna. And then I was like, okay. And then I don't remember what prompted me, but I was like, I should watch what actually happens in like the fourth season. So I watched like a recap on YouTube. And then I was like, you know what? I should just watch the freaking show. So I did. In a space of 4 days, I watched all 4 seasons of Stranger Things.
Oh my gosh.
And let me.
Well,
it's great for like background noise too. So I was like, while I was working, I would just have like seasons 2 and 3 on, where you don't need to be paying like as close of attention, especially season 2. You don't need to be paying like as close attention. Anyway, and let me tell you, it was phenomenal. I want to publicly apologize to Stooge for when I mocked Stranger Things in front of him. I literally would send him TikToks about why I don't like Stranger Things, and I take it all back. It was so good.
What was your favorite moment and the moment you cried the hardest at? Go.
Oh man.
And they can be the same.
I cried several times. I feel like all the season finales I cried. Like in season 2 when Dustin's at the dance and nobody will dance with him, I cried really hard at that. I cried, had spoilers. I cried really hard when Eddie died. Like, and what's so funny is that like, I had seen the recap. I literally knew what was going to happen. And I was crying so hard. And I also cried when Hopper supposedly died, but I knew he was coming back. I literally had to sit here being like, I logically know Hopper makes it to the next season. And I was like, I was like hyperventilating. I was crying so hard because it's such a sweet moment. And then favorite moment. Because I'm on the more messed up side, I really loved anything with in season 4, I think it was episode 7, is where you learn the story of Henry and Vecna. So the part where he like murders everybody and then he and Elle have that fight off in the rainbow room of the Hawkins lab, freaking rad as hell, dude. Like both using telekinetic powers to fight each other.
Yeah.
So freaking cool. Oh, and then when Ellen and Vecna fight in Max's memory, yikes, man, that was sick. I really like Vecna.
It's a really good show. I told you, man.
It's a great show, dude. I'm so sorry I ever doubted you.
Do,
Here's what I want you to do. Next time I ever doubt you, just say Stranger Things, and I will know.
Stranger
Okay,
Things.
great. Yep, he's right. Yeah.
Deal. I was gonna say too. My probably the moment I got the most choked up about.
Yeah.
Was actually when Billy died. I knew going into the show. I loved Billy's character.
Me too.
So 80s. What's that Motley Crue type hair metal?
Oh yeah. Like douchebag looking.
They nailed it with Billy, and that actor nailed it too.
Yes. He was such a good actor.
And I'm like, oh, he's such a douchebag. But I could tell. I'm like, I told my wife like episode 1 or 2 into whatever season I think it was season 2. Is it when they debuted?
2 and 3 is with Billy.
I said, I bet you Billy is going to have an arc where he becomes a good guy and saves the day. And sure enough, like it happens and he dies doing it.
So sick.
I was like, oh my God, Billy.
Yeah. Billy was great. I love Billy.
So
same thing. He was a douche, but like in a fun way. I just loved it.
Mike's mom was all getting like
creepy as all get out. Kids in high school still. Yeah, man. I love Max too. Max is one of my favorites. Max is my freaking favorite. She's so cute. She's so funny.
Yeah, dude. We'll have to talk more about Stranger Things offline because
we'll have a Stranger Things podcast. My last thing I'll say about Stranger Things is that the unfortunate genius of that show is that you get so attached to the kids because they're so sweet and they're so endearing. But to watch them hit them so hard in between the first season and fourth season, it's almost like y'all couldn't have got them better fitting clothes. Y'all couldn't have tried harder. Like in season 3, especially, they are wearing like 5-inch seam shorts, and you're like, these poor boys. If they're like supposed to be like 14,
80s.
14-year-olds did not wear that. 14-year-olds especially are very self-conscious when they're growing like that. So poor Will and his awful bowl cut. Oh my gosh, I loved it though. I'm probably gonna rewatch it again one of these days because I watched it so fast that I like just wanted to get through it. So I need to go back and like notice the details.
Yeah.
Notice the details.
It's a good show to go back and watch again. There's details.
In fact, you and I right now could be characters from Stranger Things. The way we're dressed, you could be Eddie, probably. Honestly,
I'm not cool enough to be Eddie.
Yeah, you are. What are you?
Oh no, I messed up my hair. It's like a spider web.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, dude.
It's all good.
And I am that really mean bully that picks on Elle with the long blonde hair.
Oh yeah, that girl's
Angela. She was awful.
Why don't you just be Chrissy instead?
Oh, I'll be Chrissy.
All right. I'm Eddie. You're Chrissy.
And then you're Eddie. Yeah. Perfect.
All right. You want to do some trivia real quick?
Yeah, I freaking do. Let's do it.
Let's get into
trivia.
We're talking about
trivia.
Next segment of the show is trivia. All right. So because we were talking about deceased artists,
yes,
I figured I'd go ahead and make today's topic about another deceased artist who's really popular. So we're going to do some trivia on Sir Jimi Hendrix. I don't know if he's knighted. I just said that.
I don't think he was knighted, but I'm good with that.
Anyways, so yeah, another person, great musician. So
absolutely,
and is gone. So here we go. You ready for this? There's only 10 questions. It should be pretty quick and easy.
Okay.
All right. How old was Jimi Hendrix when he passed?
27.
Yes, he is part of the group.
Look at that.
Do you know what year he died in?
1971.
So close. 70.
Ah, dang it. Oh.
Do you know what city he was in when he passed?
LA?
Nope. Wrong country.
Wrong country? No, I don't know where he was.
He was in London.
He was in London. Bit of sweaters. Yeah,
Spot of tea, would you, Bruce?
Spot of tea with your jumpers. Yeah, that's crazy.
All right. All right. How many solo albums? I shouldn't say solo. How many studio albums did Jimmy and the Experience put out together?
The Jimi Hendrix Experience?
Yeah.
3.
Correct.
Hey.
Can you name them?
Are You Experienced?
Yes.
One's not called Foxy Lady. I think Foxy Lady was on Are You Experienced?
No, but one of them has Lady in the title.
Oh. Lady Liberty.
No.
I probably only know Are You Experienced. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
that's the only one I would probably know
Yeah.
too. Axis, Bold as Love,
Yeah, gosh, freaking dang it, I knew that one.
and Electric Ladyland.
Ooh, Electric Ladyland.
Yep. All
Wouldn't
right.
mind visiting that place.
So, last 5 questions. You've gotten all of them but one. Wait, except for
No,
2.
I've only got 2 of them
Oh, really? Oh, that's right. You only got the 2.
because I only have one album. Yeah, I'm sorry.
We'll just give you a point for that one.
Oh, thanks, man.
All right. So the next 5 questions, I'm going to name you a Jimi Hendrix song. I need you to tell me which album it's from.
Oh, okay, sick.
So it's one of the 3. So you got a 33% chance on all of these.
Okay.
Here we go. Voodoo Child.
Axis, Bold as Love.
Nope. It's Electric Ladyland.
Well, there, gosh, freaking dang it.
Purple Haze.
That one's from Are You Experienced?
That's correct.
Hey.
Hey, Joe. Almost said, hey, Jude.
Axis, Bold as Love.
Incorrect. Are You Experienced?
I gotta quit guessing that one.
All Along the Watchtower.
That one is from Are You Experienced?
Nope. Electric Ladyland.
My gosh.
Okay. Foxy Lady.
That one's from Are You Experienced?
That is correct.
Hey.
All right, how many did you get?
5. Was that it?
That was it, yeah.
Freaking dang it, man.
I'm trying to shorten up our segments. We run too long.
You say we run too long. I say we don't run long enough. That was a good one. I love Jimi Hendrix. My dad raised us on Jimi Hendrix. I have Are You Experienced in my collection. Yeah.
Look, there's mine. I lift my arm.
That's right. You got that greatest hits.
One from Bill.
Shout out, Bill.
Yeah. Shout out, Bill. Keep spinning, Bill.
Bill, you better keep on spinning. That was a good one, dude. I love Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. All righty. That is it for trivia. Short and sweet.
Short and sweet and to the point.
Yeah.
Kind of like us.
I also wanted to get this over so the kids could get out there and get trick-or-treating,
Absolutely. Because the kids are right now currently sitting in their house waiting for this episode to be over.
Yeah.
So they can go trick-or-treating. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's wrap up with our mixtape game.
Mixtape.
So we got some questions. What did you just do?
I was doing this, but I like your mixtape.
Mixtape. And in these wigs, anything we say gets a little bit funnier. So, all right. First question. You ready for this, Stooge?
Let's do it.
The first question is, what's the one song no one will believe you like?
Well, I think they'll believe it now because I've said it several times.
Oh.
But songs like Bop by Hanson, I love that song. Summer Girls by LFO.
Oh, yeah. Great song.
Love that song, So, yeah, those are just 2 I'll throw out there that I just absolutely love that aren't really in my normal wheelhouse of music that I listen to and enjoy.
Heck yeah. I talk a lot about like death metal and crazy music and stuff, but I genuinely love the music of Kesha. So I'm going to say Die Young by Kesha because it is catchy as fetch. It is so catchy, man. I won't deny it. It's a catchy song. Also, if you're listening, we put out a playlist every week that corresponds to the music we talk about on the episode. And the songs we're mentioning in this section will be on the playlist.
Yes, they will. Right, the Deadwax playlist.
The first song you remember memorizing by heart. Reaching back into the memory banks for this one.
This one's, once again, I think people are going to be like, oh, we're tired of hearing it. He's a broken record.
Yeah.
I Wish by Skilo.
Oh, yes. You love that one.
Song.
You love that one.
Love that song. And I had the single on cassette.
Nice.
Played over and over again and memorized it. And even to this day, if the song comes on, you can't stop me from singing to it. Yeah. Even back in my sad boy single days before I was married, I made my own acoustic version of the song.
An acoustic version.
Yeah, it was terrible.
Wish.
It is the worst. No one will ever hear it.
I hope. Well, please let us hear it. That sounds rad.
No, it doesn't sound rad. It's bad.
I just imagine
it's bad because
you on a guitar, very slowly just being like, I wish I was a little bit taller. I wish I was a baller.
Yeah, and it's bad. But it's not even as good as that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you sound a little like Johnny Cash with it.
Oh.
Anyways, it's bad guitar playing, bad singing, bad timing, just bad all around.
Just bad all around.
Yeah.
We should still see it.
Remember, like Boys in the Hood? What was the band that redid that Eazy song? Because the boys in the hood are always hard. Come talking that trash. You don't know what song I'm talking about?
Oh, shit. Sorry, dude.
Oh, keep going. Let me look this up.
Okay, I'll go on for my answer for this. The longest back I can remember memorizing a song is "Baby One More Time" by Britney Spears. Because first off, that's a bop. But second, I think I was probably like 5 years old, and my sisters played that song a lot, and I memorized all of it. And I don't know if you guys had this, but we had like our family video camera. It was giant, and you had to put VHS like tapes into it. And I my sister just like put it down and asked me to sing all of Baby One More Time. To this freaking day, my family will find that video of 5-year-old Chris just singing Baby One More Time. And guess what? Guess what? I hit every lyric perfect. So
my loneliness is killing me. Can't
look
shimmy.
at you. The shimmy was really sick.
And it looked like I was having a seizure more than it was a shimmy.
Yeah. Did you ever find that song?
Do I now?
Did you find that song you were looking for?
Yes, it's Dynamite Hack is the band.
Dynamite Hack?
Yeah, it goes
pretty Dynamite Hack.
They cannot open it. The content is unauthorized.
I don't know that.
Before my day begins, before my mom starts bitching about my friends.
Well, there it is.
Now let the Alpine play. I was bumping new shit by NWA. It was gangsta at the top. Anyways.
Wow.
You've never heard that.
Dude,
it's such a good song. It's one of those rare songs that pulls the original and does a good job of it.
Anyways,
well,
there you go.
Yeah, so.
Okay.
All right, you ready for the last question?
Last question. You ready for this?
I'm ready.
You asked if I was ready for it. You clean out your closet only to find a box of high school memorabilia. There is a single CD covered in dust, your favorite from that time. What song do you play from that CD? And what CD is it?
So, hold on. I'm looking at it real quick.
Okay.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Everyone, I'm going to get canceled on this. Everyone's going to hate me.
Oh, no.
Well, I won't get canceled. People will just bully me.
Okay. Oh, my gosh.
For those listening,
tell the people.
It's A Rush of Blood to the Head by Coldplay. I loved this album in high school.
Cancel him, everyone.
Podcast over. And I would probably play The Scientist.
I don't know The Scientist.
You don't know The Scientist?
Bro, I really dislike Coldplay, so it's not like I know much about that band.
Dude, this wig, I hate this wig. This was a
I know,
terrible
the wigs
idea.
are getting in the way, dude. The wigs are actually way harder than people probably think they are.
The wigs?
The wigs. Yeah. Oh.
Here, let me find you The Scientist.
Okay. I'm pulling out my
super sad song. Can you hear it?
I can hear it.
It's like this slow, sad piano the whole song.
That's the whole song?
Pretty much. There's some drums and everything that comes into it, but
okay.
This is kind of what it is. It's just sad and dreary like this.
Look at you. High school memorabilia.
Because all my teen angst problems
came out through Coldplay. Yeah.
Nobody loves me.
Yeah, all the sad boys, they love Coldplay, man.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah, they freaking do.
Coldplay. I don't see why people, I don't see why people who make fun of Coldplay are allowed to listen to Radiohead. I feel like those are almost
that's
similar.
A very valid argument,
like,
dude.
Coldplay,
I'm so with you.
So Coldplay is definitely more of a mainstream pop. I will acknowledge there's a difference between them and Radiohead. Radiohead definitely gets more experimental and has more street cred. I'll agree to that. But I feel like a lot of Radiohead, especially the more popular stuff, is just sad white boy music. Just like Coldplay is. So, anyways.
100% agreed. I can't stand Radiohead. So,
anyways, that's like my favorite Radiohead album is In Rainbows. It's like, I guess there's sad white boy songs on that one too. But anyways.
There aren't all of them. My answer to this question, though, to dusting off the old CD, I pulled out of my record collection too, just to be like Stooge. And that is With Roots Above and Branches Below by The Devil Wears Prada. This album came out when I was a sophomore, and I played it, I think, every day my entire sophomore and junior year because it's flawless and was very big, and I love it a lot. And the song that I would play off of it, bro, there's so many good ones.
Not as good
But-
as The Scientist.
Not as good as a scientist. That's true. There is a song called "I Hate Buffering" that I think was
I
my
hate
favorite
buffering
one.
too.
Exactly. That's a relatable title, right?
Yeah.
So anyway, "I Hate Buffering" by the Devil Wears Prada was one of my favorite songs in high school, and I played that CD to death. So
To death. It is
to
dead.
death. We
Did
do know
you
what we
have
should
a-
do, Stooge?
Did you have a funeral and a burial for it?
I did. Do you know what we should do? We should take off our wigs at the exact same time.
Like Scooby Doo?
Yeah, we should take our wigs off like a 3, 2, 1 countdown.
Why?
Because my wig's hot.
It is hot.
I don't know
You
about
ready?
yours. Yeah, ready? 3, 2, 1. Wigged.
Oh, look at my hair.
Yeah, dude, same. I look like a Ken doll.
I look like a drug dealer
guys.
or addict.
Well, guys, if you're watching this on YouTube, you just saw the most horrific, polarizing effect.
Put the
in your
wigs
life.
back on.
What a mess this episode was.
Whew,
He
saved
got his
it.
hat. He got his hat. He's good. Stooge, that's all we had for content today. What else do you want to talk about?
I think that is it, my friend.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's short and sweet. It's Halloween. Let the kids get out there. You like how I do the sweet pun in there? Let the kids get out there and go trick-or-treating or go out to their lavish Halloween parties on a Monday night.
There you go. Make sure to ghost everyone you talk to.
Oh, nice.
But seriously, happy Halloween, everybody. Halloween's the best holiday of the entire year. So go have the best Halloween.
Ooh, that is a hard pass on mine.
Oh, Halloween's my favorite holiday for sure.
Okay, it's your favorite. I'll accept that. I won't say it's the
sorry.
best.
I should have said
It is
it's
not
my
the
favorite
best.
holiday.
Okay.
We know Stooge loves Arbor Day, and we never try to stand in his way of that wood.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Love the wood.
Yeah, you freaking do. Speaking of social media, Steve.
I was gonna say, speaking of wood.
Speaking of wood, social media. Do you know, guys? You guys know what that is? It's that thing that kids are into. You should follow us on social media. We are at Deadwax Show on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram. And our personal handles right here below. You can see Vinyl Stooge and Chicken Waffles Forever. Follow us there because we post a lot about our lives, our music tastes, and also upcoming episodes of the Deadwax Show. So please follow us everywhere you can. And if you're watching on YouTube and you haven't subscribed yet, click this subscribe button. Because
subscribe.
that is going to help us. It's going to help you. It's going to be beneficial to everybody, truly.
We've
So
looked
please.
at the numbers, and 75% of the people who listen to this show aren't subscribed. I'm just making that up. That's just what
are you
YouTubers say.
doing?
I'm like a cholo now.
Yeah, you look like Mike from Suicidal Tendencies.
Let's go get some tacos.
I am so worried about where this is going. You have offended I don't know how many audiences in this single episode.
I am a quarter Hispanic, so it works.
Okay, great. I'm so happy for you. What else do I have to say? Hey, Stooge, if someone were to go online and to go to Rustic Records, what do you think they should do at the checkout process?
Well, actually, before they even get to checking out, before you start browsing the hundreds of titles that Rustic Records has available for you to shop on, make sure to sign up for their newsletter, because if you're listening to this today on October 31st, you want to sign up for their newsletter right now, because they got a really cool discount coming up in the month of November that you're not going to want to miss out on. So sign up for the newsletter. You'll get information on that, and plus you'll keep up to date on all the cool records that Rustic Records is continually getting into their inventory. So first, sign up for that newsletter. It's free. You don't have to cost anything. You just type in your thing, and if you hate it later down the road, just unsubscribe. It's simple. Just clicks, easy clicks. Look at this. Look at clicking.
Look at all this clicking. Clicking's so easy.
I just did like 20 clicks just right there.
He just subscribed to 20 newsletters.
I subscribed and unsubscribed, I don't know, probably about 20 times right there.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Anyways, that's how quick you can do it. So subscribe, and then go shop the hundreds of choices that are on there. I was looking recently. They got some really cool stuff from like Third Eye Blind. I'm looking at some Sublime stuff, but he's also got lots of other great stuff there. That was just me personally what I was looking at.
Rad.
So when you go to check out, you're going to see a box that says promo code. Make sure you type Stooge into that into that box, because thank you for the sign language for all of our deaf listeners. Type in Stooge, and you'll get 5% off your order. So it's a good way to try Rustic Records out. Great shipping. Records are, packaged with care. And it's just a great place to shop online. So do that, and tell them Stooge sent you. I don't know who you're going to tell that to.
Sent you.
Tell that to the computer screen right after you click submit or complete order. Stooge sent me.
So good.
They
Speaking
will hear
of,
you.
this is like a quick ADHD moment. Do you notice our posters on your side and my side? They line up perfectly. If you're watching this on YouTube, we have posters on our walls. We are actually not in the same room. And they are currently lined up perfectly, and it's crazy to look at. My gosh.
Oh, damn it. Legit. You went the wrong way.
Shut up. It's Halloween. Let me go the wrong way for once. Anyway, thank you for anybody that made it this far. We appreciate it. Stooge, what's a word if people made it this far that they can leave in the comments?
Check your candy. I would say
4 words, 3 words.
Gosh.
I went the wrong way and I can't count.
Put Robin daggers or wigs. I don't know.
Robin daggers. Put Robin daggers if you made it this far into the episode. We appreciate it very much for anybody that even continued listening.
Which is probably most not of you.
Man, what happened to us? We took the wigs off and we kept thinking. I can't count. You said most not of you.
You've been thinking?
Oh my gosh. That's new. All right, dude. I think we're good to wrap it up.
All right. Go for it, brah.
Once again, please look for us on social media where you'll be able to find access to our Spotify and Apple Music playlists. We'll talk about the Deadwax music. Please subscribe to us on YouTube, and wherever you're listening to this, please push subscribe as well. And your last instruction for you to once and always do is to get out of the groove and get into the Deadwax. Goodbye, everybody. Bum 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 bum. That's supposed to be Stranger Things.